But if I was to pick a top three, it would be persevering, persevering through the ups and downs, persevering through the bad days, persevering through the challenges, persevering, day in, day out. So my sporting experience has taught me two key things about overcoming adversity. The first being that resilience is key. I can't think of any situation where I've looked for a milestone in the future and not come across expected or unexpected hurdles. And so really having that resilience to navigate through that is really what enables you to achieve a lot of your goals, because without that, it's near impossible. And then the second thing that my sporting experience has really taught me is you are the one who's in control. Like, you always have a choice to choose your attitude and to choose your focus. And, when things go right, it's really easy to celebrate and stay in a really good headspace and use that momentum. But something that is equally important when those challenges are there is having the choice and using that to choose a positive attitude, to choose to focus on the things that you can improve and the differences that you can make. And so for me, those are always the two key things. It's resilience and choosing what you focus on. So for me, physical and mental health come hand in hand. I compete at the highest level in professional boxing, and I'm a former two-sport world champion. So physical health is naturally very important to me. But it wasn't until I had the fortune or misfortune of experiencing a life-threatening car crash and suffering with post-traumatic stress disorder that I really understood the importance of mental health. I can sort of, hands up, say I was the person that if you were going through depression or really struggling with your mental health, I'd be like, just put a smile on your face, like you'll be absolutely fine. And I very much had to go through that process of understanding, in order to have a really solid physical health, I first needed to have a really strong mental health, and having to navigate the process of and trauma of being in a life-threatening car crash, and having really unhelpful thoughts like, in a split of a second everything can be taken away from you. What's the point in trying to live a legacy? What's the point in trying to be your best? To have to navigate through that where there is no blueprint to say, okay, if you do X, Y, and Z over a 6-month period, you'll feel like absolutely fine. Mental health is the only space which doesn't have that very clear blueprint. It's almost like if you try all of these things, they may or may not work. And so to have to actually go through that, I really now value that importance of mental health, of making sure that your thoughts and feelings are supporting you in a way that enables you to be your best. Because prior to the car crash, it never crossed my mind, and I very much had to experience it. So, like, mental health to me now is almost paramount, and without having a solid, resilient mindset, I then wouldn't be able to excel in the ways that I have professionally and personally. So that's something I really try to educate people on, because it is really important. For me, the secret for performing at your best, I wish there was one recipe which would give you your answer. It's definitely a combination of everything. But if I was to pick a top three, it would be persevering, persevering through the ups and downs, persevering through the bad days, persevering through the challenges, persevering, day in, day out, because it's not an overnight process, it's an overtime process. So it's persevering through those days, weeks, months, years, to finally be able to achieve at your, ultimate standard. So yeah, perseverance is definitely up there. The second one I'd say is investing in a quality team, whether that be professionally within my sport. It's paramount for me that I've got the best quality team individuals around me in all of my different coaches, to make sure that I'm always held accountable to a very high standard, that people feel empowered to share if things aren't going to plan, if there's a better way to do things. And I think that's very much relatable to the business sense, in that you need to have a quality team around you. You need to invest in quality leadership, quality people, because, at the end of the day, as much as it always looks like it's like one person at the forefront of everything, you've got a massive team behind you for support, and it needs to be a team that you fully trust as well. So that's the second. And the final would be resilience. Adversity, challenges, hurdles, bumps, they are inevitable. It's something we just have to accept. Unfortunately, it never seems easier to navigate the next hurdle. You think like, oh, surely this is the last one, and then you're hit with another 3. But having resilience in abundance, I'd say it is also key, because, you don't hear of any great success story without all of the hardship before. And, to achieve that, you really need to have resilience and abundance.